We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's happening?
What's going on, man?
Man, been a busy.
Hey, man, tell me this. Last week you said you tested positive for being a real G.
Been tested positive for being a real G, man. It's in my DNA, man. 100%.
What about this week?
This week, I didn't test positive for being a real G. Well, I did test positive though for. Hey man, play that music, man. We gonna talk about it, man.
Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I fight.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook page. We are live on both platforms, and we are back. Every episode is uploaded to anywhere you can stream podcasts. You can check the boys and them out on the go. Ace Kennedy, we still real over here, though, man.
I know that's right, bro.
Hey, so let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
So last week, right? I had kept Landon at home because he had like a little sore throat, right? And what was crazy about it is that when I kept him home, I was like, well, let me just make sure he don't get anything crazier than that. And if it gets escalated, then we can see what's up. So I was like, well, you know what? If he coughs one time, right, that's enough for me. Boom, that's it. I'm having him hold off from school. So he did just one time throughout the night. So my dude ends up, so I kept him home, right? Next day on a Friday, this was before Labor Day weekend, the weekend right before Labor Day weekend, matter of fact. So fool around, man, keep him home from school, and fool around to go get tested next day, right? So we go ahead and get tested the next day. Both of us tested negative, right? The missus also tested negative. The next day, or later on that day, tested negative. Everybody negative, right? So I'm thinking that worst case scenario is that my dude, may have a cold. You still can get cold and flu, regular sickness and everything like that, not just out here in this COVID climate. So sure enough, though, man. But I started getting other cold symptoms as well, though, man. Had like a little stuffy nose, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. But the one thing that was crazy about it, though, bro, is that, I never get headaches, right? So I've gotten a headache maybe once or twice in my whole entire lifetime. So I never get headache. So when I had my congestion, I ended up having this congestion all up in here, and it was just that real tight congestion feeling. And when I think back on it now, it probably was a headache. I just, it's the sensation when you describe it. So I'm sitting here like, okay, you know what? I had that for probably like a day, basically, and then it goes away, right? My congestion for that particular day goes away as well. The next day, I had like a little body ache for a couple of hours. Body ache goes away that day. Next day comes on long, right?
Mhm.
Boy, almost had the Mexico water situation going on, right? But for like probably the afternoon, a couple times I was straight, right? After that, the next day. So I'm fine. Boom, I'm good. Going through the weekend, I'm like straight. But then I was just like, okay, well, you know what? Trying to make sure Landon is good. Landon is straight. Trying to make sure that the missus is good. She's straight. She had like a couple of little body sores and everything like that. But because she had something, I was like, okay, well, likely whatever it is, this cold that I got, you know what I'm saying? She probably has the same thing. And so fool around, bro, and we wound up just chilling the whole weekend. We basically wound up just lounging around the whole weekend. But we had just tested negative anyway, so we was like, all right, we just chill on out. So I'm sure enough, I'm back at work. You know what I'm saying? We I show up work on Tuesday. I'm talking to my boss and everything, right? And my boss is like, she was like, I haven't had a few COVID tests that had tested negative. And actually having it, you know what I'm saying? You might want to just double check because maybe you just didn't have the congestion where COVID is sitting all up in here when you did your COVID test. But she was like, if you take it right now, you might just test, you might test positive right now. But this is when I'm already feeling great, right? I'm thinking like, you know what, man, I done beat my little cold. I'm thinking I'm about to plan to go hoop the next day or something like that. Maybe even, before the pod or do something though, bro. And so sure enough, I'm like, you know what? I got an extra COVID. I had to at home, George. I said, let me do it right now then, right? We doing the stuff and having my one-on-one with it. And within 5 minutes, it wound up testing positive for them, man. And the weird part about it though, Ace, is that ever since I've formally tested positive, I felt better every single day, right? It was almost like the positive test was almost like a healing button as well, though, man, for me, though, man. So, which, I know that you and I was talking about tested positive for being real out here in these streets. I definitely don't want to make light of people who have actually had COVID, who are still going through COVID symptoms, who are still fighting that fight, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that for me, I was fortunate enough to where my entire family had very mild symptoms to say the least. But the boys back, we good though, man.
Nah, bro. The thing is that sometimes you got to make light of things in order to push through it. And so the thing is that our hearts go out to anybody that struggles or have lost people, or this is not a joking thing, but yeah, it's one of those things you have to smile from crying or whatever the case, whatever that old saying is. But here we are. But
well, listen, the one thing, this is the one thing I do find to be very interesting, right? Mm-hmm. Is that I'm one of those people where I am unvaccinated, right? And so what's interesting is that now all I see everywhere, it seems like, of course, before it was mask, no mask. Now it's vaccinated, unvaccinated, and everything is preferenced with, that if it's unmasked or unvaccinated people do make up this percentage of this or these unvaccinated. And I'm just like, yo, everything now has kind of shifted though, bro. And I'm blown away. Like I was tripped out. I saw something today that says that unvaccinated people were 11 times more likely to die of COVID. A CDC report finds. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, bro, like, so let's put that in context now, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, you see while over the last couple of days as well, Jovante gets on TV and he basically says that he is trying to make it mandatory for make it man
everybody to get
for
vaccinated.
everybody to vaccinate. And I think that you and I have agreed. I think that we're not. You were vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm not. I probably will. I think my problem has always been that I've been pro-choice. So it's like I'm pro you choosing to be vaccinated or not. I'm not against. I mean, I'm totally against forcing vaccinations, but I also understand that, hey, if your job takes a position where they say you got to get vaccinated, and then you have to because it's your job. Is your job that important? People got bills. And so I think that it's just interesting to me, though, man, that I haven't seen anyone just say, all right, well, I'm about to say, y'all forcing these vaccinations. I'm about to just quit my job then. And then what? Right. So.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like you said, if you quit, where you going to go? Because more and more jobs are making that jump, which is I don't have an issue with people thinking that, this is the way to get us healthy. But this is my only thing, right? For one, people looking at other people who are not vaccinated like they're lepers, or like that you guys are the filth and the scum of the world, is just ridiculous. Because it's like, oh, it's because of the unvaxxed people that so many people are this, and this. No. When you get this shot, that does not protect you from not getting COVID. Stop. That's not the case. You don't get the shot and become immune to getting COVID. So stop saying it like the vaccinated people are the reason. No, the fact is people with the vaccination get little to no symptoms, which means if they are positive, they probably don't know it. And they are the ones that are the super spreaders. And I'm just like, the second thing is, they keep saying like, oh, it's the population of the unvaccinated people that are in the hospitals that are overrunning the hospitals. You cannot tell me that everybody in the hospital that is in there for COVID is unvaccinated. You can't tell me that, because that's not true. Stop. Like, quit with the lies. Like, bro, the thing is that I was in the military. We had to get mandatory shots. So this one is no different for me. But I'm like you. Don't be trying to force that on people. If people know the consequences for not getting the vax and they choose not to get it, that's on them. Period.
Yeah. It's funny, man, because me and my mom, we go back and forth about me and my mom butt heads about a lot of stuff. Probably because me and my mom, we laughed about it yesterday, because me and my mom are a lot alike in many regards, though, man. But I think that for me, it's like I am. You can't just. You can't tell me something or give me a direction, and I have questions, and you expect for me to just go ahead and do it blindly, right? So I, just like we had been saying for the longest, that I had I'm like, when I feel comfortable with it, with the information, then I will. And that's just where I stand with it. And my mom, I understand for her reasons, and she has some pre-existing conditions and everything like that. So it made sense. It made sense for my dad. My dad has some pre-existing conditions as well. So it makes sense. And so my mom, from a very caring and loving place, was saying, hey, I would feel like, that you should get the vaccination. You know what I'm saying? Because, she's a mom, right? She's like, I would feel comfortable, right? And I'm thinking that's fine that you would feel comfortable that way. I can appreciate where that's coming from. But I think that for me, I think that one of the things that we kind of go back and forth, I had to kind of explain to her, I'm like, if you haven't been listening to what I've been saying here this whole entire time about my stance on it. It's not that I'm for or against it. I am against taking the choice away from people. But aside from that, though, I was looking for more information, basically, though. And the whole entire time, it felt like when I would have this conversation, it was like she was never hearing that part. And I was like, well, if you just are having this conversation to just say the things you want to say without listening to what my reasons are, we might as well not even be talking about it. So I was just, we were going back and forth about this for a good bit yesterday, but I knew that she, came from a good place with it. And I think that for the most part, I like to think that most people who feel so strongly about it mean so in a loving place. But at the same time,
not all people, bro. And
the
people I've talked to are not coming from a good place. They are almost making it feel like you're stupid if you don't want to take the vax, and that's not from a loving place. And I don't necessarily like it
No.
because to operate a vehicle and wear a seatbelt is one thing. That's you're talking about putting something into your body. That's not the same. Like wearing safety belts, like if you were on a roller coaster, oh, you get a choice to wear this roller. Like, no. Those are requirements to do those things. Getting a vaccination, that is a choice. And so that to me is not, I don't like that metaphor.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm inclined to agree. I think that, you know, I think the thing that gets me the most about that, man, is just that, like I said, it's one thing to where it's like it's become one of those things where it's politicized, and we talked about before, you know, mask. It was, you know, hey, if you was against wearing masks, you know, I was one of those. I would go out there on the limb and say you probably was a Trump supporter in my eyes. And then this isn't anything less because, I mean, to be quite honest with you, I mean, I still low-key feel like if you're just against the vaccinations, hard against I don't know, man. Like it's hard to tell, you know what I'm saying? Because some people just, I think the thing that gets me is that everybody has their own reasoning, right? And I think that, you know, I don't know, man. I just think that, you know, when we were younger and we had these forced vaccinations, people just didn't know better. You know what I'm saying? And I think that as an adult to be able to do something that's mandated, well, you know, I didn't have a choice then. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
So Charles, is this vaccine does not stop you from
Facts.
getting COVID. That's the difference. The vaccinations we took as kids, I haven't seen, none of my kids have had chickenpox because they had the vaccine to stop them from getting chickenpox.
Right.
MMR, all of those things, you know, tetanus, diphtheria, all of those things. You get all of those, and our kids haven't had those things. This shot does not stop you from getting COVID, and that's what I mean by this is just like the flu shot. I ain't getting flu shots. I stopped getting flu shots when I got out the military.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing about it, man, is that for me, the one thing I can tell you that I can tell the difference I feel in my body wise, right, is that I feel like there's some times where I get a little shortness of breath, right? Yeah, so like, yeah, and I've never had any respiratory issues or nothing like that though, man. But if I'm talking for very long, you know what I'm saying, then I feel like I'm getting this shortness of breath. And maybe that's just, you know, it'll go away with the healing. I think the other part too is that now I've been taking, you know, still taking, you know, cold medicine and everything like that, the gunk, the mucus and everything like that, that's still coming down. And so I'm clearing my throat and everything like that to get that on out, getting productive coughs and everything. But I think that for the most part, that's been pretty much it though for me though, man. But
well, bro, speaking of that, man, what's been the best thing that you've seen this week though?
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. Okay, I saw a couple things. So I read something, bro. Let me read this. Let me read this to you though, bro.
Oh God, I think I know where you're going.
Okay, this is hilarious, bro. So I saw this on Baller Alert, and they said, anonymous, please. Says, I'm a 19-year-old stud dating a 46-year-old divorced woman. She got 3 kids, 1 boy, 23, 2 girls that are 20 and 25. The problem is these kids don't respect me as their father, especially the youngest one who is 20. Says, I really love my kids, but I don't want to make it. Says, I really love my kids, but how do I make them respect me? They think I'm only after her money because she's the only woman that I really connect with on a spiritual and emotional level. Since I moved out from my foster home last year and have been staying alone for a while, now I'm thinking of moving in with her next month, but I'm scared of my stepkids. She says, I've tried reading a lot of parenting books and still not getting any answers. How do I make these kids love me? Bro, listen, I'm going to keep it all the way 1,000, man. That right there was by far the funniest thing I had read because, listen, I'm sitting here thinking like Ace Kennedy. This reminds me. I laugh on this on so many levels because this reminds me of when this seems like something how I said there's an age, there's a cutoff when you starting over. You know what I'm saying? You freshly single and you in your 40s, and you said, no, my number is low. You said I'll go low. And then here it is, you're out here dating people that are around your kid's age, right? And so now this little kid is thinking like, well, I'm dating your mama now. I demand some kind of respect out here though, bro. But I was in tears when I read this though, man. It was very easily the most entertaining thing I've read all week.
Yeah, I read it too, and it's wild on so many levels. They don't.
This girl said the problem is these kids don't respect me as their father for one, right? So she's already said I'm a stud, but she said they don't respect her as their father. And the thing that get me the most is that the fact that she says I really love my kids. Like wait a minute, man. You the kid to them because everybody's older than you though, bro. So is it right. Ace Kennedy? Is this what happens when you go out here and you start dating some young girl, and then here it is, you bring your young girl around Tari, and your young girl sitting here thinking that Tari needs to show her some level of respect that goes beyond.
My thing is, I'm a realist, bro. There's no way I'd be trying to tell Deuce or Tari or Samaya like, yo, this the new one. You got this your mama. Like, stop. Like, there's no way. There's no way. No way.
Hey, listen, man. That right there probably was the funniest thing. I could not. I mean, I thought that it was so fake. I said somebody surely had just made this up, but it still was so hilarious though, bro. So yeah, that was probably by far. And listen, of course, since the boy been shut in this week real heavy though, man. I saw one of my old favorite videos pop up and was trending on TikTok, bro. You ever saw the video of the old dude? He's like, I don't want no relationship with a bro. That's why you never. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my gosh, Ace Kennedy. Okay, so there's this video. This guy's sitting in his car. He's like, I don't want no relationship with a broke ass. That's why we never holding hands and walking in the sand of it. And it is a cold. And listen, when I hear it, all I hear is I can hear like Chris Brown doing this song, bro, and it being a hit. And I'm dying laughing because I see that it's an old video. It had to have came out, bro, 10 years ago, maybe. And so somebody had posted it on there and everything like that. And so, of course, naturally, people are doing remakes of it and everything like that. It's hilarious, but it's an incredible, incredible song. Definitely shows talent. I think that the same dude did another video before, though, man. But, yeah, what you got for the best thing you've seen this week, though, man?
So well, first of all, the funniest thing is I seen there was a town hall. I think it was in Virginia somewhere. And they were doing, the town hall, but then they had these kids did the Bart Simpson pranks where they was, doing like the names like Seymour Johnson, what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They were doing stuff. It was like 4 different names and so they was calling the next people to come to the mic, and it was 4 of them. Them kids was wild, bro. They so that was the funniest thing. But one of the best things, I got 2 this week. So one of the best things is my new polka dots that you don't like. I love these shoes, bro. They go hard.
What do you do like this? It's not. It's like okay. I don't get it. That's what it is, though. Ace.
What do you mean you don't get it?
What exactly are you supposed to do with them?
Wear them. What are you talking about?
No, like I guess my thing is that when I'm looking. I'm not against the polka dots. I guess maybe I would want to see the polka dots on another shoe.
What's wrong with this shoe?
I don't know. It's just, to me, the polka dots don't match the shoe.
Well, that's why you not wearing them.
Well, you always ask me what I think, and I'm just telling you.
I didn't
what
even
I
ask you what you think. I just sent you a picture of them.
You sent me the picture, which means what you think.
Thank you, Brittany. They fired.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that's one thing. The other thing is you see I'm sporting the AEW. I'm All Elite. All Out was this weekend, bro. It was Sunday, start of the week. And my boy Brian Danielson was there. My boy CM Punk was there.
Yeah.
Adam Cole was there. Ruby Soho was there. Like, they got so many different people from WWE to cross over. And what my bold prediction is that right now the Dark Order is in a frenzy, right? And I think they're building up for the boy Bray Wyatt to come and take over the Dark Order because they need a leader. That's their thing. It's like, yo, we got to have somebody because there's too many, like, everybody's moving around. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Makes sense.
Bray is going to come.
Oh, listen. And you're talking about the shoes. I wish I had them, because what made me not disappointed about the shoes, when I saw the ones that you got, the Air Force Ones you got landed.
Yeah.
And then I saw those. That's probably what it was. If I didn't see these ones that you had previously bought Landon.
You ain't even see the same place I ordered Landon shoes from. My shoes haven't come in yet. And so when you see those 3 that I ordered, then I think but see, those was just at the outlet. And I was like, yo, I liked them, but I didn't get them the first time. I was like, listen, I'm going to go back. If they still got them, they meant for me to get, and they were.
Oh.
Okay, let me see what you
Let me see what Gloria talking about. Gloria. Mr. Kennedy, you have a choice to get the shot or not. If you do not, if you don't, you'll be subjected. Just no one said that the shot will cure or keep you from getting the symptoms, but it's less that's true. Let me show that real quick.
Okay, yeah, because I'm trying to read it.
Yeah. So let's see something here. Yeah, the choice to get the shot or not. If you don't, you'll be subject to getting the swab and tested weekly. And I get that.
I get that too, but I mean, that still hasn't none of that has any bearing on what we were saying, though, because at the end of the day, it still shouldn't be mandatory. That's the bottom line. And that is my it. People know at this point, they know the science. They know what can possibly happen if they choose not to get it. That's still that person's choice. You cannot make somebody put something in their body. I'm
gonna keep it 1,000 with you, though, man. This is gonna sound so very privileged, bro. But it seems so un-American for you to make something like that, because the American thing to do is when someone says, "Yeah, we gonna make you get this shot," you gonna say, "Oh, what?"
Okay,
right, so that's the American thing to do. So,
Mama, answer this question for me. Even if everybody gets the shot, that doesn't stop COVID from being spread. So how do we think it's going to stop? There's nobody knows the answer to that. That was never my point. That's the thing. The point is but getting the shot does not stop you from getting COVID. So you will still be able to get it. So whether you have the shot or whether you don't have the shot, somebody who has the shot can pass it to another person who has the shot. So it still can be spread. So again, how is that stopping it? The difference is with the chicken pox shot, with MMR, stuff like that stopped those diseases from coming. So that's not, nobody can answer that question.
Yeah. Get that third shot. There's probably other people gonna get the third as well.
Bro, speaking of wrestling and AEW and WWE, what's up? Did you started watching Heels yet?
No. But let me tell you this. You're talking about wrestling. I do think what's interesting, right, is did you see Mick Foley's response?
Yeah, Mick Foley.
I think that is pretty. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you though, right? I saw Mick Foley's response, and I don't think that it was very dishonest. I thought that it was straightforward. I don't think that it was, but to WWE, I can see how that might look pretty damning to them, because it's like you're saying you still have one of your own who's basically saying, listen, you might be in trouble, and just acknowledging what most people already tend to believe to be true anyway.
Well,
but I thought that was interesting.
They're gonna have to get off of that, because the thing is that he's a Hall of Famer. He's not an active wrestler. And as somebody who you could listen to is a Hall of Famer, somebody who's been there, done that, who helped build that company. He's allowed to say anything he wants to say. And the thing is that, like you said, what he said, it ain't nothing nobody else ain't thinking. Because even Booker T came in and was like, yo, I agree with Mick 100%. We do need to get in gear, because the thing is that not only are they taking the talent, but they are reorganizing them and making them into household names. Like, let's be honest, bro. Who was talking about Ruby Soho before she came to AEW? She was in the Riot Squad. Nobody was like clamoring, unless you were just like a fan of hers when she was an indie wrestler all the way till she made it to WWE. We're talking about household names, right? Now, all of a sudden, people were like, yo, Ruby Soho was the Joker in the women's battle royal. And so here's what I think I like, right?
What I like, what I do like on the low is how I like how Cody Rhodes is slowly moving himself away from the spotlight to let other people shine.
He is, but he ain't, because I mean, he still
does, right? He's still just a character still. But what I'm saying though, man, is that like I don't think that he is out here trying to shine like I don't think that he's shining like Young Bucks.
No, he's not. But the difference is he's also filming other stuff. Like he's out right now, because he's filming The Big Show. So I think that's the difference, is that the Young Bucks are kind of there week to week. Whereas, and plus they, as EVPs, they had disagreements. They got into it, him, Kenny, and the Young Bucks. And so maybe it has something to do with him branching out. He just recently had a baby. But the fact that he, again, became an EVP when he was a nobody in WWE is still such a feat.
Hey, let me switch topics on you real quick.
Yes, sir.
Did you see Chloe Bailey's new video?
I don't even know who that is.
Chloe Bailey. She's signed to Beyonce. She's performing at the VMAs, or if it hasn't already. Oh my gosh, Chloe and her sister. Remember the two that look like twins? They were signed to Beyonce.
Oh, okay, all right. I know you said the twins, right?
Yeah. But they're years apart though. But here's the thing. So this is the part that this is something that I'm struggling with. Chloe and Haley, golly, I'm thinking that I couldn't think of Haley just because of Bailey. But here's what I think is crazy though, man.
Yeah.
What I think is crazy to me, bro, right, is that, like I said, I've been watching Chloe and Haley since they were like 12 and 10 years old, right? I remember one time we went to a Hawks game and they sung the national anthem, and maybe even did like a halftime show when they was like 12 years old, oh, bro. And I'm gonna keep it 1,000 though, man. It's weird because Chloe is fine, but she isn't 25 yet, bro. And so it's still weird for me to see her getting all sexy. And I know that she is very, very much grown though, bro. But it's weird that I still like, I sort of have a problem, but she might just be one of those. That's my exception, because she doesn't come across like grown, like lewd grown, like Megan tried, like Megan, that's her thing, right? Yeah. But I think that at the same time, it's almost like when you see Zendaya, right? Like you've been seeing Zendaya, like everybody's known Zendaya since she was like 12. And so, you know, to see her as this 25-year-old woman now, I don't know if she's quite 25 yet, but it's weird though, man.
Saying, but and this is what's funny, right? Is because the same thing that you're saying right now is the same thing I think about Britney. Is because I watched her grow up, and so now it's just like she's still. And I know Britney grown, you know what I'm saying? And she does her thing, but it's the same thing. It's funny to me.
Yeah, but listen though, she out here, and listen, this is the thing that's crazy to me, right? Because I'm just sitting here thinking like, you know, you watching her and you see, oh, she was this girl who was skinny, and now you see her and she's out here thick, and I'm just like, hey, yo. And listen, I think the thing that's crazy to me is that I think that people really have been not trying to separate the two, but she has been distinguishing herself from her little sister, because I do believe her little sister, who is only like a couple of years younger than her, but I think that her little sister made people look at her like she was much younger. Mm-hmm. And so she's out with the cakes out though, bro. And I was like, hey, yo. And it's weird because at some point, you know, they were signed to Beyonce as a group, and I believe both are signed solo, but you could just tell it was just a matter of time before Chloe went solo, and she seemed to me, always have had that it factor though, bro. And so I was just like, man, so like she is one of those artists who I would want to watch and see over the next 2 years to see if she would fit into that her LMA category of R&B though, bro.
Yeah. Yo, did you see the whole thing with Stephen A and Max Kellerman? So Stephen A confirmed, like, yeah, our it's done.
I did see. So here's what's interesting. We talked about before that it was reported that Stephen A wanted him gone, but I saw Stephen A talking on with Ebro in the morning, and Stephen A was like, yeah, I mean, I said it 3 years ago that I wanted him gone, which is kind of crazy because, you know, Stephen A was the one who championed to get Max there as the replacement of Skip Bayless. And he was just like, nah, man. That's truth. I'm not going to deny it. And basically was like, yeah, you know what? I don't think that we didn't have the chemistry. The fans thought so as well. I think that it's just crazy that he can be as honest about it. But it was it was crazy though, bro. But I was very surprised about it though, man, because like I said, Stephen A did mention that, you know, hey, he was asked by Skip Bayless to come over to the show. And that was, you know, 9 years ago that he's been on there. And so when Skip left, then Stephen A was kind of, you know, he said, I've been on the show long enough to know, you know, what fans, you know, tend to like and everything like that. And what's crazy about it is that he was saying, no, I had been saying that a couple of years ago. And the executives was like, nah. And then even as recently as last year, and they were still done. I was just like, yo. So I don't know, man. It was crazy though, bro. I never really, you put this from the beginning. It never really seemed like a authentic pairing, right? Stephen A and Skip seemed to be where their opinions were so strong, and that their takes didn't come across like they were just shock value. And I think that Skip and Shannon has the kind of chemistry that I think that Skip and Stephen A had.
What goes to show that Skip is really that dude.
I can see that, bro.
And here's my thing. Stephen A was tired of being shown up, bro. Like, I loved Joe Budden's take, and he was saying that he was basically saying, like, you know, when a lot of the Black Lives Matter and a bunch of those things were going on, Max had actually stronger takes than what Stephen A did. And it's like, well, and he's the black guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that rubbed people the wrong way. Or that rubbed Stephen A the wrong way. And like I said,
because I remember Terrell Owens said Max seems like he's going to bat harder for black people than you are. And you the black man, Stephen A. Smith. And then Stephen A. tried to clap back. But listen, the damage was done after that, though. He had already said it.
Right. And that's the thing. And that was just like, yo, Max is invited to the cookout was kind of the thing that was trending. And, you know, when you're supposed to be the host of the show, when it's supposed to be your show, you can't have somebody out there showing you up. So, and that was the thing. Like, it was, the writing was on the wall for Skip. I mean, for Max. And, you know, obviously he's not fired. He's got a bunch of stuff on the horizon, but I don't think the floating guest, the revolving guest, whatever you want to say, is going to revive that show, bro. Like, the thing is that I don't want to see him and Magic talking about stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him and Michael Irvin talking about stuff. Like, I just don't watch Stephen A no more, bro. Like, he's just not the dude I'm going for. He used to be the credible voice that I used to go to for my sports stuff, but I'd much rather listen to Skip and Shannon, even though, you know, I know their format too, but I would much rather listen to them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird. I don't know how you I don't know how you replace them, but I don't know, man. It's a lot different from just replacing the moderator, right? Because like, I thought when Kara Champion was there, I thought that it was a perfect balance. And then I think that when they brought Molly on, and I was just like, okay, you know what? That's straight. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. But I don't know, man. It's just I do like Max. I just don't like him paired with Stephen A. Smith. Like, I thought Max and Max Kellerman and what's my dude who used to play for the Cowboys? DeMarcus Wiley. I thought that them two as a pair were dope. Right. And I think that to me, that was a natural fit. Like, they seemed to me to where they were really like boys that did a show, not just paired together. So,
yeah.
But listen, but Stephen A never, you know, backed down from the rumors that he wanted him gone. And I got to give him props for that, because to me, I think that's him saying, listen, bro, it's my show, you know, at this point. So I feel like you can't say he wasn't honest.
No, it's nothing about that. I mean, okay, great. You stepped up and said this is what you wanted. You didn't throw the blame on nobody else. That's cool too. But at the same token, it doesn't, like I said, the shakeup that he's looking for isn't Max, though. Max wasn't the reason the show was getting the lower ratings. Like, if he would have fessed up and owned up to the fact, like, look, I couldn't have this dude out here out talking me on stuff, then I would have, okay, that's fine. But you just saying you wanted him off the show. But why? Why did you want him off the show? Because, like, the chemistry, you just getting on there debating it. We bring Damon on here, we bring Chris Top on here, we bring Mark Knows Everybody on here, and we don't talk all the same, you know. We don't talk all together at the same time, like all the time, but it still doesn't change the dynamic when somebody's on here. So,
yo, speaking of which, though, man, let me pause for a second, because you brought up something that I wanted to at least shout out to my dudes, man, because shout out to the homie Mark, because the homie Mark called, checked on the boy, made sure I was good. The homeboy Chris checked in on the boy, made sure I was good. The homie Damien checked on the boy, made sure I was straight. Shout out to the homie Courtney, who checked in on the boy and made sure he was good. Him and the missus even sent us a grub hub so we wouldn't have to worry about cooking dinner. Real good people, though, man. And listen, I think the funny thing about it, though, I wanted to say that Ace Kennedy, since you brought up their names, though, man, I can't express enough how much genuine love I feel from the people who are the closest to me. And so I think that that was very much a testament. Brittany Rowe, I think you probably missed it, but your boy then got out here and tested positive for COVID over here. So that's what you missed, though, man. So But shout out to everybody who knew. I didn't tell everybody because I found out on Tuesday we wound up not doing the pod to rest. Because listen, we tell all our business anyway. I would have said something. I would have said something on the pod, but this was the next pod up after I tested. So but now, man, shout out to them though, man, and shout out to everybody who at least who I told at the time. And checked in to make sure the boy was good though, man. I can't appreciate it enough. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
we do tell all our business.
Tell all of our business.
I know.
Bro.
Listen, I ain't telling them that I got the shot. And then what I do, bro,
listen. When you found out that you had COVID, you said it on the pod the next day, or probably later on that day.
Right.
So then here's what's funny. So this is how much of our business we tell, because my mama said, "You gonna talk about it on the pod?" I said, "You know it is." I said, "You know it." Yeah, tell all your business out there, man. But but shout out to everybody though who checked in on the board though, man. But hey, so listen, let me ask you this. That COVID shortness of breath, boy. Whew. Real quick though, man. BET Hip Hop Awards. It's coming on up. Usually it's October, so it's coming on now. I got a couple things I want to ask you too, though, bro. So let's talk about the nominations, right? Because they got Cardi B, Lil Durk, Megan Thee Stallion lead the nominations with 9 nods, basically. And then some of the categories are Hip Hop Album of the Year, Moneybagg Yo, Tyler the Creator, Migos, Megan Thee Stallion, DJ Khaled, 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, and J. Cole, Album of the Year. Song of the Year, Back in Blood, Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk, Late at Night, DJ Mustard, Roddy Ricch, Laugh Now, Cry Later, Drake. And this is one of the things that I wanted to ask you, bro. So I'm looking here, and so I was thinking about this. I was looking at the Drake album, right? And the Kanye albums, right? A lot of writers on both albums, right? And Ace Kennedy almost had, we started to talk about this. We almost got into this topic last time we was talking about Drake and where he sits and does having ghostwriters and an accusation of ghostwriters. Does that take him away from your all-time list, mine in particular? And I said that, you know what, though, man, I think that the accolade still means something, right? Like he still did that as an artist. Ace Kennedy, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. After I thought about that more, and I've been listening more to the Drake. And I do see that, because a lot of times you might have some samples, and when you get the samples, you may get royalties as part of the sample clearance. And so I can understand why you would have several writers listed on songs if you're sampling a song, and that song, especially if you're sampling like a hook from a song and everything like that, and that song has previously had writers, I can understand you having all that and everything like that, though, bro. But I thought about it more, though, bro. And I'm having to reevaluate it. I'm having to reevaluate not just as an artist, right? Because I'm saying like as somebody who writes R&B, and I can't sing, but as somebody who writes R&B, I can understand it from an R&B artist how that wouldn't be that big of a deal, because at the end of the day, you might just want to make the best song, right? You want to put out the best song possible. But I think that it also means something to me, right? that when I listen to it, like a Bruno Mars song, for example, and I know that Bruno Mars wrote those lyrics, right? Like maybe as a casual fan, that might not be that big of a deal, right? But for me personally, right, someone who puts a premium on good lyrics, Doc, I think it does mean something to me that someone authentically wrote their every line, bro.
It don't mean that nothing to me.
No.
This is why. There are a couple of reasons. For one, music business. Make the best song possible. Number two, why am I concerned about who wrote the song if you might not even lived that song? A lot of these rappers out here that claims they done shot this person and stabbed this person and robbed this person and was fresh out of college. Ain't done none of that. So my thing, what premium do I have on because you wrote it? Like that
Let me tell you what.
You still have to perform it. You still have to perform it. It still has to sound good no matter what. That's just like people who write whack bars and it still comes out good. It's the performance. So for me, that doesn't, as an artist, as a consumer, nah, don't have that much premium for me.
Let me tell you why, right? Why, how much of a deal that is to me, right? So let's just say two of my favorite raps, like two of my favorite, just come to my right off the top of my head. CeeLo Green says on Cell Therapy, he says, me and my family moved in our apartment complex. A gate with the serial code was put on decks. They claim that this community is so drug free, but it don't look that way to me because I can see the young bloods hanging out of the store 24/7 drunk and looking for a hit of the blow. It's powerful. Oh, you know what else they trying to do? Make a curfew, especially for me and you, the traces of the new world order. Time is getting shorter. If you don't get prepared, people, it's going to be a slaughter. My mind won't allow me to not be curious. My folk don't understand, so they don't take me serious. And this is the favorite part. But every now and then, I wonder if the gates that he was talking about earlier in the rap, but every now and then, I wonder if the gates was put up to keep crime out or keep our ass in. Like, that's genius to me, though, bro. And so for me, when I hear that, right, I was like, I as a songwriter, I'm very impressed of that you thought of that. And so that's like when I heard Jay-Z says, when people always talk about the difference between like Jay-Z and Drake, and Jay-Z says on The Watchers Part 2, he says, things just ain't the same for gangsters, but I'm a little too famous to shoot these pranksters. All of these rap singers claiming they bangers, doing all sorts of twisted stuff with their fingers, disrespecting the game, no home training, the manners. I was doing this issue when you were sitting in Pampers. I was moving them grams for you knew what a hand-to-hand was, ducking the vans, radar scanners. Like all of this wordplay is impressive to me though, man. And so to me, that goes toward the aura of Jay-Z is that like that man thought of those lyrics. And so to me, it's different from someone who performed those lyrics very well. It's to me that
here's the thing,
originated that. Like that's,
I get it, right? I get what you're saying. But to me, I don't hold Drake any less because Drake has been on top for how long, right? So the fact that his business mind has surrounded him with the people that are able to keep him in that capacity for that long makes him just as much as a genius as somebody who's writing all the bars to me.
I get that. But see, to me, that makes you like Diddy. Don't worry if I write rhymes or write checks.
I get that. And I like that.
I don't. See, that, I guess my thing to me is this. I think that this is the way I look at it, though, Ace Kennedy. I look at it like this. If let's just say if that Drake, if the whole Quentin Miller thing had never came out, right?
Right.
And let's just say if nobody ever assumed that anybody wrote any of Drake's material, that every single line, every word that he said, I think that it makes Drake clearly better than when people say, oh, Cole or Kendrick Lamar, I think that it would clearly make Drake a better lyricist than them if there was never that insinuation that he didn't write it.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. As an R&B artist, that didn't move the needle for me at all.
I can understand that from an R&B artist, but I guess the thing to me though, man, is that it's an appreciation of wordplay when I know that this person is a big artist because he's a big artist, and all of these lyrics, that wordplay, those thoughts were his originals.
So do you have a premium on people that live their raps in? Even more than people who are just fabricating?
Depends. It depends.
Storyteller and a lyricist?
It depends. I'm gonna tell you this. I think that there are certain people who could live everything that they say, but they just aren't good rappers, right? I think that that's one thing. But at the same time, if you telling me I do still put some stock in credibility. Case in point, right? When I listen to Biggie, Got a Story to Tell, right? And when I listen to Somebody Gotta Die, Biggie, right? Like when I'm listening to those songs and I listen to the storytelling, Biggie's not gonna sit here and really tell you about snitch on himself about everything he did in the song, but it was his credibility, right? And the storytelling of it makes you believe that he did do it versus somebody who could have really done it and said, I shot 10 people, blah, 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 blah. And if you don't have the skill to back up with your authenticity, then it goes out the window to me.
Well, see, I'm just saying it because like when you thought Snitch 9 was with his crew, you didn't like him. And when you found out he was fake behind all of his stuff, you ain't like him. So it didn't change your premium on him.
Yeah, but I just didn't like, I didn't like what he had to say and how he was saying it. So it was just like, there was nothing about him that I would have been drawn to. Like he didn't say, there was no skill to me, right? There were no crazy word play. There was nothing at all, though. It was just an act. And I never really connected to him. And like I said, that was where maybe what he was doing wasn't for me for good reason.
Yeah. I mean, that was just my example of just messing with you.
But it is different though, man. Like I don't expect for everybody in R&B to write every single thing, right? But at the same time though, man, like when I listen to like Bruno Mars song, and if it's a Bruno Mars song that Bruno Mars has written this song, then I hear these songs, right, that he'll have, like I'll listen to that and I will really think, I'm like, man, this dude, if it's a love, especially a good love song, bro, I would sit there and think like, wow, this person has a lot of experience. Like this is either you just are a great writer where you can imagine somebody else's feelings, or that you have loved somebody well enough to where you have these things to say. Like that's a big deal to me though, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like when I look at the stuff that we write, right? Like we take a hint of something that is true and fabricate it into stories, but my brain thinks it like I write murder mysteries, I write stories, so I don't know, like the creativity for me is different. I don't know, like you said, as an R&B artist, it doesn't bother me. Like I said, because I know this is a music business and a lot of the stuff that we see is fake. That stuff don't bother me.
With that being said, Ace Kennedy,
yeah.
You look at the Bel Air 2 live from 1999, one writer, two producers. That's it. Every single song. That's it. So that's listen, bro. Y'all gonna make me toot this horn out here because there's not 15 writers on any one of my songs, though, bro.
No, I get that.
Shout out to Rocky, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of writing in R&B, bro, I've been listening to that Eric Bellinger and it go hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm proud of him because I'm a fan of Eric Bellinger, but I'm not always a fan of his song, like everything he does. You know what I'm saying? Like every time a new album come out, I'm gonna listen to it. I think I love him as a writer, as a arranger. Like his arrangements on songs are premium. But I'm not necessarily like you know what I'm saying. Like I have to listen to his albums because I need to hear what he's doing because I'm definitely studying.
I'm waiting for Giveon whole
that?
album. Just like the day that I met you.
Oh,
cold outside. Yeah. I can't wait for the. But listen, there should be a lot of good people who are not necessarily that they're on the clock, but a lot of good music. Listen, and I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I told you, man, before. TikTok. I'm finding all of my new stuff on new artists on. It's incredible, bro. Like I'm talking about, it's ridiculous, though, man.
Yeah, man. What you got going on for the rest of the weekend?
I'm laid up the whole weekend. I'm gonna chill out for the next couple. I think I might chill out, man, and hold it down for probably about another week. Lay low. I'm trying to go ahead and render down. I talked to the homie Rocky as well. I'm gonna do a couple more edits to his video and send him the final here. So I got that done. And other than that, though, man, I'm gonna try to hold down the fam, make sure everybody is well off on over here, though, man. So yeah, that's it. What about you?
Bro, I have got to get my mix made for the state fair. And if I got 2 shows next weekend. So I got the state fair and then I got the Pure show out here in Oklahoma. So I got to get prepared for those. I'm making my flyer tonight so I can get my event thing up to get people out there. So yeah, it's gonna be a very busy weekend for me. Layla has volleyball tournament tomorrow, and then church on Sunday. So yeah, it's gonna be very busy weekend.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm trying to just make sure my dude is that he's able to slide back into school next week. So we staying on the low ski out here, though, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, on that note, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook page. Ace Kennedy, though, man, listen, I appreciate y'all for checking in, though. Brittany Rowe for jumping in the comments. My mama all out here in these comments at Gloria. Who else? Did I miss anybody?
Courtney.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to the homeboy Courtney as well, though, man. The good folks at Future Cinema. Let's get that music on there, Cat Daddy.
For those of y'all that don't know, Situationship is in all streaming platforms, so make sure you check your boy out, Ace Kenny. Situationship.
You were never available, we were taking on the exact same time. And every time you would boot up and I would tell you how you would be mine. I tell you my problems, you tell me your problems. You will always fight by my side. And whatever I needed, you would always be it. Cause you are my girl and I'm your guy. Oh, you got him, I got her. We were only supposed to be friends. More and more, we hang out. Now we wonder how we got here. In a situation, got me contemplating. If I'm gonna say you know, what about my baby? What about my lady? You're supposed to be the one from day one. It's a situation. What